Hey there, Nate Lang with Lang Custom Builders. Hey, welcome out to the timber frame today. Let's check out some of the site work that we have going on. Let's go check it out. Well, let's come over here and let's look at some of the utilities that we're bringing in. Well, we have several different utilities that we have to bring into the site, and we have to take considerations for each one. The first one is the electrical. Well, the electrical, we've been working with the power company, and they're actually going to bring a new service in, and we're going to set a new transformer on site. It's about 950 feet from the current service location, and so we're going to bring primary in, and it's going to come down this access drive. We're going to underground bore that. The guys have been working on getting the 3-inch conduit in place. But we're going to bring that down the access drive. It's going to come right along the side, and we're going to swing it around here, and we're going to actually set a new transformer. This location over here is actually where we're going to have all the utilities come in. So we're going to have a new transformer for the power. The gas meter is going to be here. We're actually going to put a generator in this location as well. This is about 120 feet from the house, and it's going to be a great location because we can kind of hide some of those things. We can make it look a little bit nicer over here, and then the homeowners don't have to hear, the generator and some of that stuff that could be running during the time of need. That generator is going to cycle. It's going to do the things that it needs on a regular basis. So having that away from the house is just going to be more pleasant for the homeowners. The other thing that I talked about is the gas. So the gas is going to come in the same location. It's going to be underground bored as well, and the gas line is going to come in here. In the house, we've got things that are going to run off gas, like the fireplace, the boilers for the radiant heat, the range and the dryer, just some of those different things like that. They'll be running off gas. It'll be natural gas. We're in a location that we can actually tie into the natural gas here, so that's a benefit for this client. The other things that we're talking about with the utilities, we have things like stormwater and sanitary water, and actually the water line coming in to serve the house. The water line for this house is going to come in from the village, so we can actually get municipal water for this house. It's going to come in, it's going to be a 2-inch line. We're going to bring it in, and it's going to go right to the mechanical room. So it won't actually come to this site, but will actually go to the house. The sanitary will come out of the house, and we're actually going to have a leach bed on this one. So the leach bed will be out in the front of the house here, and it'll go through a septic tank, be treated, and then out to leach into the ground. So the last thing we're going to talk about is the stormwater. That's going to be like the downspouts and the sump pump and the drainage off the driveway. Those things are actually going to get tiled out to the creek that runs around the outside of this property. We're fortunate on this property to have some great drainage around it. It's actually going to have a pond too, so the pond will be dug out there, but we'll run that stormwater out into that creek. So those are just some of the things that we think about on the property here to try to get set up for the client. All those things we have to take careful consideration on how they're coming in. Each site is different, so each site could have, access to water or not access to water. We'll have to dig a well, or access to natural gas or not, so we'd have to put a propane tank on site. So each one of those things we take careful consideration, figure out how those can get brought in, and then make all those proper provisions so they can get into the house in the right way. Well, let's go walk over closer to the site. We're going to take a look at some of the site preparation that we've been doing. We've been working on stabilizing the ground, and the guys are actually getting started on the pool today. So let's walk over there. We'll take a look at what's going there and talk about that a little bit. Come with me. All right, we're over here at the house site now. Let's talk about some of the things we've been doing to get ready to build over here. Well, the first thing we've been doing the last couple of weeks is we've been stabilizing the soil. Well, what that means is we mix lime with the soil, and it reacts with the soil and the water, and it actually helps the water evaporate, and it changes the soil composition to make it stronger. That's a huge benefit for us, so we can drive concrete trucks and other equipment around the property. So that's the first thing we've been doing. The next thing we've been doing is we actually raised up the building site in a couple areas. You can see behind me the guys are actually working on the pool today. So that's one of the areas that we wanted to raise up. We raised that up about 3 feet to get the grade up there so we can get good drainage around the house. Well, that pool area is actually going to have 4-foot concrete walls around it, and it's going to have a slab that's poured at grade. So that pool is actually going to be inside. It's going to be conditioned space around that pool. So that pool is actually going to set the grade for the rest of the house. So it's critical for us to get that just right, because everything else goes off of that. The other area that we've taken consideration to is the front area over here where the garage is going. That's going to be the same as the pool. That's going to have a slab on grade with 4-foot concrete walls around the outside for our foundation. That garage is actually a drive-through garage, so you can come in and out without having to back up. So we made sure to get the driveway really nice around that. We've been working on the laydown area for all our equipment and supplies, which is going to be nice out here on the front. It's going to give us a good place to work and set up the crane for the timbers and stuff like that. Well, the other thing to talk about here with the site is the pond. So we've been putting in the pond in the back. You can see that there's some grade work been done in the back there. We're just kind of prepping for that, getting the right area set up for that with some of the extra dirt that we have. We've been using some of the dirt that we've been pulling out of the pond for fill around different areas. Well, the last thing I want to talk about here is this main section down here. You can see that it's lower than the rest. It's actually lower because we haven't changed the grade there. That's because that's where the basement's going to go. So on this house, we have a 10-foot basement wall. That basement's going to go down. Things that are going to be in the basement are a safe room. All our mechanicals are going to be in the basement. There could be a bathroom down there, and there's going to be some area that could be used as a second living area. The elevator is actually going to drop down in the basement too, so we have those considerations with that pit for that as well. Well, like I said, it's going to have 10-foot basement walls. So when we get to excavating this, we're going to dig down for those footers in that basement wall once that pool gets done. So that should happen in the next week or two, and we're excited to see what that's going to look like and show you guys as well. Next time you see me, hopefully I'll be down about 7 feet below the grade that I am now, and we can talk about the different considerations that we're putting in the basement. Well, thanks a lot for coming out to the Timber Frame today. Hope you enjoyed this content, and we'll be excited to share more with you soon.